Hello guys, welcome to my new video. This is the last video from the series about installing the IoT platform. So if you are new here, you can go through the last videos to get this application set, as you will see here. After installing the IoT platform, Stream, Open Reports, Flow and Open Platform, we can achieve full potential from what IoT platform offers. In this blog, we will go through some simple examples to get an overview of what the platform offers. Main point of this application is to receive, save and present real-time data or historic data to the user. So the first thing we need is a method to get this data into the IoT platform. For this purpose, we installed Stream, but we need to process data in the IoT platform, and we can do that with drivers, which you can see right here. Drivers are a core part for this application. They can receive and process data from different kinds of devices. Different devices will need different drivers. So for example, if you want to receive data from a metal station and electrometer, you will need individual driver for each. But for more metal stations of one kind, you will need just one driver. Because there is a lot of options for sensors, you can create custom drivers right in the IoT platform. You can see it in here. There you can define which inputs and outputs it has to include, endpoint, where you will receive data, and you can code there some operations with the data. It is also possible to create a driver that will be connected to a camera, for example, and it can send requests for data in some periods. Driver can also has configuration and settings, and you can see settings right here, and configuration is here because it's separate for every device, and this driver doesn't have any configurations. And also in the driver you can add storage for saving custom data from the drivers. For example, if you connect your driver to the camera, which can send you data about passing cars, you can save to the current architecture only value. But in the driver, you can create custom database, custom table that can contain different kinds of data like vehicle license plate, color, type and more. If you would like to have some more information about how to create your own driver, you can find it here in the documentation from Total.js, in the IoT platform, and here drivers. Here is all the information you will need to create your own custom driver. Now, when we have our driver ready, we can go to devices and create a new device. Here we can choose a driver, which will be in our case air quality. And here we can fill some information about this device. So for example, I will put here test, and also as you can see, you can fill in reference, color, icon, locality, latitude, longitude, and device identifier. This is very important for every created device because based on it, it will receive data. The received data will be assigned to the device. So for example, we will put here 1, 2, 3, just for example purposes, and we can click on submit. After submitting a new device, we can already see some meta informations about the device with informations about chosen driver. Below that, we have listed all sensors associated with the device, with their state, current value, and time when the last data was received. These sensors were created automatically after creating a device, based on chosen driver. As we know from previous part, every driver have their sensors defined in it. If we want to see all sensors listed in one place, we can do it in the sensors section. In here we can see an information about every sensor like locality, value, serial number, alerts, time when the last value was received, and state. By clicking on a sensor, I will show it to you on some of these existing sensors, we will see a report with historic values received on that sensor, with possibilities to filter in these values, and you can see it here, or export to CSV file. When we prepared our device like this, it is ready to receive data. With this driver, data have to be sent to the endpoint AirQueue, and you can find this information right here. We'll click here and air quality readme driver, and as you see now, the endpoint is AirQueue. This is the structure of the data we need to send here. This value from DevAUI has to be the same as the value we defined as serial number. You can see here. It has to be like, because then platform will be able to pair incoming data with correct device. Now we can try to send some data to this platform. I have already prepared an example, and as you can see, we have here a URL address of our stream with endpoint to this device, and also this is the structure ready for this device. So we have temperature, humidity, and another properties. Also the AUI is same 1 to 3 as serial number of our device. Also we have to put here a header. Header is a secure for incoming data, and we set it a value for this header right here in settings, so it should be a total, and as you can see, it's a total. Now we can go back to devices and we will send the data. As you can see, it went fine, and now we can refresh our data. As you can see, all of our sensors change their state to online, and you can see the values. This process can be very similar for every device based on your driver. So I think now you are able to use the base functionality of IoT platform. So we can move to another section, which is Dataviews. If you have a case where you need to combine data from more sensors, it is easily possible to do in Dataviews section of the IoT platform. It is possible to choose a sensor. I will show you how. Just click on the create and we can choose a sensor, and we will choose temperature, and I would say temperature again. We will put here a name which will be temperature, and now we can choose an operation. Just for example purposes, I will choose summarization, and now we can put here in a format degrees Celsius and click submit. But before it, now you can see that each sensor have value 15 degrees Celsius, and we choose operation sum. So after submitting, you can see that this data view have a value of temperature of 30. Another section that you can see here is zones. Values obtained with data views and sensors can be inserted into zones and then rendered on the map. First, we need to create a zone, so we can do it here by clicking create a zone, and now we can choose a name. So I will put here, for example, test, and now we can click on draw a zone, and I will draw a zone, I would say here on this parking space. I will click apply, and now we can add sensor to this location. I will put here, for example, temperature, and click Submit. Every zone can be rendered on the map. In our example, we have only one zone test with sensor temperature. When we are here in the map section, we can see our zone. After zooming in, you can see that here appeared a box with the name of the zone and sensor name with last received value. By clicking on that box, a bigger box will appear with listed sensors, their values and graphs. Each graph has a filter where we can set what types of values we want to see. Also, if you want to make our map more manageable, we can go back to zones and add here a category. I will create a new category which will be, for example, parking, and we will submit it. Now, after clicking on the map, I can click on categories and I want to choose which categories I want to see. So I will click parking, and now nothing changed, but if you have more categories here, only checked categories will be rendered on the map. Okay, so this video is going to be very long, so I have to stop it now, and we will continue in the part 2. So, I hope you learned something new, and have a nice day.